Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. Using my over 20 plus years of coaching experience, I'll give you some different insights into the goals you see scored, how the defending is bad. Generally, it's pretty terrible in the Premier League. Or if it's actually a good goal, which generally never happens. Right now, though, I have to ramble on just for a little bit, just because I'll tell you what's going on, because I've got another massive copyright strike on my channel. What a shock. And this one isn't for bad-mouthing referees in VAR. This one I was actually sort of talking about the insides of a club, a particular Premier League club, and how they do their training. My channel was hit by that. But that video is still up on Rumble. If you can go and find the one that isn't on my YouTube channel, you'll know exactly which club I'm talking about. And I think I'm not going to mention their name because, Anyway, we'll digress. And we're going to get onto this Man United Aston Villa game. Now, I was listening to a bit of, what's his name? Goldbridge, the Man United guy. And he said one of the most idiotic things I heard. He's generally says some, smart things and some dumb things, just like everybody does. But he was talking about when Luke Shaw went off, and he was talking about, if United had all their players back and they didn't have blah. Every team in the Premier League has players that are injured. All of them do, and all of them have lots of players that's injured. And this is one of my sort of bugbears, actually, because it's one of those interesting things. The more people that you have that say they're qualified, and I've got a degree in sports science, so how come we're getting way more injuries than we've ever had before then? It's because the players are more exhausted because they're running more and they're doing it. No, not really. I think a lot of it to do is with the way that the game is now played. There's a lot less impact. So any little tiny impact or anything that happens now, it's basically muscle popping, where all these little niggles and bumps that you'd get from hard tackles and challenges strengthen up those muscles over time. So generally, they're much stronger. Now it just seems to any little tweak or turn and the players are out for goodness knows how long. But that's enough of me rambling, and hopefully I've beaten the little AI bot at the start. So let's get on to the first goal. Here we go. We've got the first goal here where the ball's coming in, and Big Fish himself, oh my God, he's just awful. Maguire is jumping up to go and win the ball. But there's a couple of problems here from the Aston Villa point of view. And if I call Aston Villa West Ham, I mean Aston Villa. Yeah, I do call Aston Villa West Ham and West Ham Aston Villa quite often. So yeah, this header though, it's not really challenged by the Villa. Like, can you see the guy hits Maguire afterwards? But I'll tell you what, I do like this little Rasmus character here, because what he is a proper striker. Proper strikers are looking at that ball, right, and oh God, who was that idiot in the when Cristiano Ronaldo got his hat-trick and he didn't because the other guy kicked it in? Do you remember on that wonder goal? I think it was what was his name? I don't know. Played for United, and Nani, that's the guy, Nani. But Nani's instinct was to kick it into the ball. Sorry, to kick the ball into the net box, even when the ball's already travelling that way. But that means he's already watching. Look at Erasmus watching this. Of course, the ball's not going into the goal, but nobody else is reacting. Nobody else is following or tracking the ball. He is the only one on the field, in the box, paying attention to where the ball's going for him to get himself a goal. Like, to me, it's amazing. Like, he had enough players around him. Look, he's obviously, Mings has pulled up going, hey, come on, guys, he's got to be offside. What are you doing? Clearly he's not, because he was watching the game. But that is such an easy goal to defend if they are paying attention and just following the flight of the ball and defending the ball. They're just not, though. Let's show you that from another angle, because I want to show you the Maguire header if I can. Okay, before it comes in, look at the separation here. Look at how much space Maguire's got to jump up. Right, so a player like of his quality headering the ball, because generally that's, I'd say a good 40% of what defenders do is header the ball away, right, clear the ball. You know he's a danger. You've got to be tighter. The reason you're tighter as well is because you're in his frame. You're trying to stop him getting any power from his feet or jumping up forward, right? And as this goes up push, he's not really close enough. Maguire's keeping him at bay, and he's not even trying to challenge him. It's old number 3 here coming across. Look, he's the end up one that's coming to do it. And look at the purchase here he gets on this header right here. Clearly he's onside, and this is the other frustrating thing. Look at this guy here. Look at him. He is watching him and the ball and still doesn't react, and still doesn't get there. You can see what's happening, doesn't react to it. As the ball starts to come across, he's all too late. And that's what I'm talking about, the reactions. Look, he stepped back trying to play him offside. It's not offside. and he just gets a simple goal. And that's one of the things I'm noticing more and more. You knew it when you were, if you coach as long as I have, you can tell people that have just learned something in coaching courses, okay? Well, what do you mean, Cash, just learned something in a coaching course? Well, they don't know why. A lot of people that teach coaching courses don't know anything about football. What they can do is repeat what they've heard, and they don't know the process of why that thing is installed in the first place. So let's take an example here. Why do you need to step up and play him offside? Okay, because we've got pressure on the ball. Is there any pressure on the ball? No. So you can't step up and try to play him offside. There's a couple of other reasons you can't play him offside in this situation. It's because you're in your own 18-yard box. And if you do get it wrong, it's automatically a goal. So you can't afford to take that risk. So there's lots of things here where you're going, oh, God, the guy's just trying to be cute and playing them offside instead of just winning the ball. Because if he does try to win the ball, he's probably putting in a good enough challenge or getting, enough to try to stop this goal, and he does neither of those things, which to me is just not good enough at this level. Let's get on to the next. Okay, United have got this weird thing as well, because I rant and rave so much about you need players on the post to defend the posts. Well, you don't defend the posts. What I mean is you need players who have starting positions on the goal line, right? So here they are, bonk, two little players, so they can run out and they can clear the ball, because if they're running this way, they're running away from the goal, so they can challenge for headers, they can clear the ball and doing whatever. United scored conceded a goal earlier on in the season for this exact fact, which I'm going to show you right now. Watch this as the ball goes. Do you see these guys running back onto the line? Look, boom, two of them back onto the line. It's something that they do quite often. He's actually behind his goalkeeper, getting in his goalkeeper's way. It's awful. I mean, it's absolutely awful. If he starts there, he can come out. You don't run back to the line like that. You're just making yourself causing yourself problems, just like United did when they had a goal. Someone fired at them. I think it was Luke Shaw. He was trying to defend it, and he was running back towards his line, so he couldn't clear it because his body and all of his momentum is going backwards. But he needs to be going forwards to hit the ball, and he can't because he's going backwards, and he doesn't get enough purchase on the ball, and it ends up going in the goal. It's just a case of if I'm going in the same direction as the ball's going, it's really hard for me to kick it a different way. That's basically, what that's going on there. But from here, what's this sort of calamity that ends up happening? We have a little bit of a bosh, and it goes here, a little bit of a hook, and the ball breaks free. As the ball breaks free and it's over here, this is the other main reason why you don't have people running back onto the defend the line. You don't have enough people now to put pressure on the ball. Okay, there's not enough players to run out and try to start trying to win the ball back, because two of them are still behind the bloody goalkeeper, right? So now you need to get pressure on this ball as fast as possible, and if you have those extra two players, maybe one of them's going to be over here, maybe getting this guy here who's completely free and able to bring the ball down, because all the other players are like bundling around the goalkeeper for some reason. So now what happens is, look, that's not a good enough pressure. Look at the distance they're away. Bosch fires it in, bounces off him into the net box, and these two guys here, you don't know if they get away from that keeper whether or not he saves that or not. I know it sounds silly, but you're going, what do you mean, Cash? Well, because he takes more responsibility when no one's around him. When someone's right next to him or behind him, it's in your head. You're going, if he just gets out of my way, I can get to that. But it's happening so fast, you don't even realise that that's what your brain is thinking. And before he knows it, the ball's in the back of the net, and it's 1-1. Here we go. We're talking about a little chip ball into the half space here, and I want you... into the channel here, and I want you to see how quick his feet move here. It's quite interesting, this little kiddie. He's got a bit of a little doof doof. Do you see that? When he just rolls it from one foot to the other, taps it away, and this is a great cross. If you've got when someone plays crosses like this, good things happen. He just runs up and he's hit it. Bosh. That is a fantastic way to cross a ball. Just running up and hitting it because your teammates set it up. It's almost stopped. He's not passing it to you. He's kind of almost stopped the ball. Now it's just a challenge on the back post, and who wants it more? And I tell you, it's not the Villa player. Bomb. Look at the positioning. Completely beaten in the air, and I'll show you from the other angle as well of how bad he was beaten. Again, look, he's trying to foul the player and not try to win the ball. Can you see that? He's on the wrong side of him because he hasn't got set early enough. Look at his body shape, trying to win the header or trying to stop him doing it. He's basically got his arms in his chest there. That's just awful. And the reason that's terrible is because he hasn't got himself already set. So before the play's going out and the guy's running into, McTominay trying to run into the box, he's been lazy to get goal side of him so he can actually defend properly. He's still behind the player. And we know he had time because the guy had to go whoop, whoop, shimmy past those two players, stop the ball and cross it. So he had all the time in the world to get there because McTominay had all the time in the world to get there. If he can get there, so can the Aston Villa player, and he doesn't. Other than that, yeah, it's looking a bit shocking for Villa at the minute, but I think they'll be fine. And Man United are on the rise. Other than that, I'll see you next time in Cass Talks Football.